3 p.m. and you head away home and you don't turn on again. There's something going around in your head all weekend about, Jesus, I heard something there. What's that? Maybe we could do this.
I'd say since the day I've set up the business, I've never not checked my emails.
Yeah.
I went through my emails.
Yeah.
I went to Ecuador with my mother.
Yeah.
About a year and a half, go on holidays for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I, every morning, did an hour and a half's work on the emails, just checking to see where we were.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole, like, you get caught up in it.
Consumed a little bit, I guess.
Absolutely.
As well. Yeah.
But yeah, look, the world still goes around. You know, how only a tiny sample population within this world will know about the impact we're having. So you have to remember that as well in terms of managing your own mental health. When I think about return, I'd probably think about 3 categories of return: personal return, company and cultural return, and client return. Yeah. When I think about personal return, you know, I'm a very driven person. Yeah. Someday, everyone going to close their eyes and they won't open again. Yeah. So you have that sense of, you know, legacy and leaving something after you in a better position than you took it on board. Yeah, knowledge, you know, I want to be really knowledgeable and I really want to understand the industry that I'm involved in. Yeah. And I obviously have a wealth type of drive. Like I want to be set up when I'm older that I'm comfortable. My family is comfortable. Security with my family that I grew up with, my family that I hopefully have in the future. In terms of a personal drive, in terms of a company drive, look, the cultural engagement is huge, right? There's people in our organisation that walk in the door and tell us they're applying for a mortgage. You know, and they may not be from Ireland. They could have been from a different country. Yeah. And then only last night, I'm thinking, God, they might not be here in Ireland, but for We Group in terms of what we're doing.
Yeah, indeed.
Or vice versa, they might not be applying for a mortgage, which is a huge milestone within their life. Yeah. In terms of a company kind of reward. And then finally, if I think about clients, I love pushing clients outside of their comfort zone. Yeah. Or I love just coming in the door, being on a whiteboard, sitting down with a client and they have a problem. And for me, it's an opportunity, you know, and how you can solve that and put a robust structure, system, process in place. Yeah. That's kind of the returns that keep me motivated and driven.
I'm not sure does everybody get into setting up their own business just for that financial return. And I think it's just my personal opinion, if you are getting into business just for the financial return, it's not going to succeed. No. Because you'll miss the point of the whole human connection and the cultural aspect. Is everything you just talked about in terms of We Group there, of setting up people and becoming connected to people. You'll miss that somewhat.
Well, that costs money.
Yeah. And
unless you're willing to invest and actually understand it, you're trying to build an organization. You know, you have to be able to live. You have to be able to understand that profits are going to be a lot lower than normal. When you're going through that, like, norming, forming, storming phase within an organization. And for me, like, you have to understand the fact that there's an investment required here. But please God, you'll get that back in tenfolds in 10, 15 years. Yeah. And if not, okay, we get the knowledge of failure so that we can be successful in terms of whether it's advising someone down the line or doing something completely different but in a similar environment down the line. Because
I think you'll have an appetite for something anyway, and trial and failure are good things, you know. Again, learning is the main process here. It's a journey, it's experience, and you apply that to the next step, the next vision, whatever that might be. But it is interesting, the obviously the personal aspect to it. What's the return here? And I reflect myself on this quite a bit. What is the return? I like the journey. I like the possibilities and being able to go, actually, let's go right. Yeah. No, let's go left. So you're bringing something to the table. Let's consider it. Whereas I found in the past was that in larger organizations with the structures in place, that becomes a very difficult thing because you need to you need approval and you need to convince people and so on and so forth.
We had a couple of people come in the door there recently, and we were trying to manage something with data and setting up a structure, and they just passed the comment, geez, this took 4 months in the last place I was in because of all the data and security that they had.
Yeah.
And me and Omar just laughed and said, "This is the beauty of it. Let's just go.
Yeah,
what do we need? How do we do it? What what's the support function? What's the process? Let's go."
The exact
and
same
you
conversation.
can move very, very, very quickly.
It's very agile.
Yeah.
It's the exact same conversation I had a couple of weeks back about a new platform or software. Yeah.
But do you guys then do you find when you set up that you had the same vision as you have now? Or do you think your vision has changed from when you set up 5 years ago?
Yeah. I would say that in terms of what we're trying to do, the principles are the same. It's still that focus on cost and digitization of the 5D aspect, data analytics, etc. Where we're doing business and how we're doing business changed. I would say that our view of the global construction industry has changed dramatically in terms of the professionalism around our discipline and the transition from traditional to digitization. We were of the opinion that everybody was moving in this direction and that the global marketplace was shifting. Our experience in the last 5 years is that it's not. The global construction market is way behind what our experience is in digital design and construction in Denmark, for example, even when you compare that to Ireland, for example. And so suddenly we realized that it's not just a Danish market that our focus is now, it's actually the global market, because the opportunities for us